I'm Carlos Diaz in for Jane Velez Mitchell. Before I even begin this next story, I want to warn you, the video you're about to see is graphic in nature. Tonight, a bizarre twist in a brutal rape and beating caught on camera in Trenton, New Jersey. A surveillance camera across the street captured the crime in progress. The tape shows a man walking around, and he sees a 19-year-old woman walking by, and here's what's absolutely shocking. The suspect literally attacks her in broad daylight, overpowers her, drags her behind a parked van, and allegedly rapes her. How about this for brazen? These store surveillance shots were taken when the suspect returned to the area only about an hour after the rape. The photos were published in a newspaper, and guess who saw them? The suspect. 22-year-old Jonathan Worley called police and said, "Hey, I got my picture all over town. I didn't rape anybody." He even came to the police station for a chat, but he never left. They arrested him on the spot. Now, this is swift justice. I'm taking your calls right now. 1-877-JVM says. That's 1-877-586-7297. Straight out to my fantastic panel, Steve Guardian, a former police detective. This is how you want these sort of cases to turn out. Somebody allegedly commits a crime and then calls the cops himself.
Yeah, Carlos, interesting happenings there. We have him on video. We have a photograph of him. We've got him heading back towards his residence. It's a good case. This type of crime is a blitz, and it was a very brazen act. I'm sure that he wasn't aware that he was being videotaped. And law enforcement did a very good job in interviewing him and developing the corroborating evidence to arrest him. And I'm sure that they're also executing search warrants on his home, looking at his cell phone records and obtaining DNA and hair and fiber evidence.
Well, the suspect, Jonathan Worley, is jailed on $250,000 bond, and there's a long list of charges against him. Aggravated assault, kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, and terroristic threats. And police are investigating whether he is involved in 2 other unsolved rapes in the area. Dr. Dale Archer, he saw his face on surveillance photos posted inside businesses. He called the cops. He went to the police station to proclaim himself innocent. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm thinking he's got a guilty conscience.
Stupid is as stupid does, I guess, would sum him up. But, yeah, these guys, basically, going back to the scene of the crime is very, very common for criminals. Actually, they've done studies on that, and they've interviewed convicted cons, and they do it. But they do it for a variety of reasons. But here it's very clear. He was reliving the rush of the crime. He was reliving the capture, the rape, and then he was thinking, they got nothing on me. I'm going to the convenience store, getting a Coke, and the police are not smart enough to catch me. So he's got a grandiose sense. Obviously, he's a fool, and then he sees the video, calls the police station, and goes and tries to clear his name because he thinks that he can do that. But you know what? I hope this guy is thrown away for life, and his genes are taken out of the gene pool forever because he's a moron. Yeah,
and the thing is, I mean, this video we're about to show you one more time. I want to show the video one more time, but before we do, I want to warn you again. If you see this video, when I saw it today, it turned my stomach because it is just so horrific to watch this man grab this woman. This alleged victim is a 19-year-old Hispanic woman. Once again, let me warn you, this surveillance attack contains graphic content. She was minding her own business, walking to the gym. 6:15 in the morning, people. 6:15 in the morning when she was brutally attacked. Later, she was brave enough to return to the scene to work with police to find her attacker, Robin Sachs. This young woman has gone through so much. Will she have to testify in court against her attacker?
Well, just like your warning about the video, I want your viewers to be warned that this is just not how cases generally work in sexual assault cases. In sexual assault cases, there's very rarely a video. There's very rarely an opportunity to see the person come back on video. And not only does the video corroborate the victim, but his own statements and own actions corroborate. So with the mountain of evidence, it's quite possible that this case settles without her ever having to come to court. However, one thing that people should be aware of is, as awful as it seems going to court in theory and an idea, sometimes there's something extremely empowering about confronting your attacker and pointing him out and saying, this is the person that did it, and being part of regaining yourself by being part of the process of putting that person in jail.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. I'm sure there are several people out there who are watching this and are as appalled as we are. Amy in Texas. Amy, thank you so much for calling in. What's your comment?
Yes, this is absolutely what we need in the United States. This is what people have to go through to find these types of criminals to protect our citizens. Like in England, this is how they catch the robbers and the rapists and the murderers. If you don't have anything to hide, why are you scared of these surveillance cameras all over our streets?
So you say you're in favor, Amy, you're in favor of having surveillance cameras like this all over?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not? This would catch exactly these types of people that need to be caught. I have nothing to hide. I wouldn't oppose any type of surveillance camera on every street corner.
Amy, that's a great point, and I agree with that point wholeheartedly. And Dr. Dale, do you find it ironic that we live in an age with technology like this where a full-color surveillance camera can capture something like this, where this guy's basically a freaking caveman? You know, I mean, grabbing the nearest girl that he can. By the way, Dr. Dale, I'm not laughing about this. This is a serious, serious thing. But I mean, to see this person be so violent in this nature, it is strictly out of the caveman era.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, it's find a woman and then do whatever you want with her. But I think technology does have a chance to make the difference. The one problem I have with a lot of these video cameras is they are not identified. So in this particular case, if you have a big ID camera and an arrow pointing up so everyone knows that you're in an area, I think maybe this doesn't happen. So I not only support the cameras being out there, but I think we have to do more to let people know that they're there, they're being watched, and maybe we can start reining in these type of violent acts in broad daylight in front of everyone.
Well, this crime is so violent and brutal, but it turns out the suspect, Jonathan Worley, doesn't even have a record. Can you believe this? But get this. After the rape, police say Worley patted down his victim in an attempt to rob her. I mean, as if the rape wasn't bad enough. Not only that, he returned to the scene only an hour after the rape, and that's where these photos were taken. Steve Cardian, he's not exactly acting like a first-time offender.
No, Carlos, that body language that he's exhibiting on that video is certainly not the body language of a first-time offender. He's very deliberate, he's very brazen, he's very calculating, and he is truly a predator.